when wombats attack, eh? Don't you dare!
What is up, GOAT World? It's me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you with another GOAT format video. And now I got another champion in the building, someone who's really special to my heart, someone who means a lot to me, one of my favorite players. I know I say everybody's my favorite player, but this guy is definitely one of my favorite players, probably one of your favorite players. The newest FLC champion in the building with me today, I have none other than Mr. AJT BLS. Talk to him, Mr. AJT. How are you doing this evening? How you feeling? Thank you so much for dropping by.
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be on this show, and big fan of your channel, and just watching that thing grow from 50 subscribers to 100 subscribers to just blowing up and getting all these views. And the War League, I'm a huge fan, JDZ. You're saying you're a fan of me. I'm a bigger fan of you.
That is not possible. But for all the people who may not know AJT, as we do when you come on JDZ Plays Goats, even if you're the most popular player or whatever, you got to go ahead and introduce yourself for the people who don't know you, and just tell them something about you, how you got into the game, how you found goats, other things you like to do besides goats, and we can take from there before we jump into this event.
Sounds great. So I go by on Discord, AJT BLS. My real name's Adam. I'm from Canada, and I'm currently studying to become an engineer. I'm in my last year of school. Can't wait to be done. I'm 26, so been in school a little too long, but that's okay. Got another degree before it, but it's coming to an end.
Right on.
So with Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, I played Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a young kid, as I'm sure everybody did who's on Discord now. You know, when I'm talking when I was like 7, like Metal Raiders just came out. I was playing back then as like a young kid with my dad. My dad, I remember him taking me to the local game shop because he actually was looking to get hockey cards himself. Canadian, he was looking to get hockey cards. And I was like, oh, Dad, let me try out this Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So he buys me a pack, and I believe it was the unlimited one because, you know, like I'm just a 7-year-old kid. Why spend the extra money on the first ed stuff? I believe.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I remember buying it, and he's like, okay, you can open it up at dinner tonight. So we're at the family dinner every Friday. We still do it at my grandma's house. It's Friday night, Shabbat dinner. And after I was so excited to open up this pack because all the kids at school, they're talking Yu-Gi-Oh! And I wanted to get in the game. You know, so I open up this pack, and I remember the only thing I remember from this pack was pulling Soul Release, I believe. I remember looking at it, and I was just like, so that card fascinates me now to this day. But I remember looking at it, and I was like, what the hell do these things do? And my dad, after he saw me, was looking at these cards. He's like, Adam, you know, like this isn't going to be a thing, because my dad used to play Magic when he was younger, and he spent a ton of money on that. He's like, I know this is a rabbit hole. He's explaining to my 7-year-old brain. He's like, oh, you know, like this is just going to go one way. This is going to be an addiction. Like, he's like, you know, it's fun, but like, we're not going to spend a whole bunch of money on this. And that surely stopped. I got so addicted, I ended up crying for cards and getting starter decks. And I remember actually when I was 10, for my birthday party at 10 years old, we had a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and my dad made a trophy for all the kids around. And I remember my friend Hassan at the time. He's now a doctor. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I'm gonna give him a shout out after this. He still has the trophy. My dad printed a trophy for Adam's 10-year-old birthday Yu-Gi-Oh champ. So we had like 15 kids playing Yu-Gi-Oh. My dad made a bracket for everybody. My dad played too.
Does he still play? Get him in here. Get your dad into some goats, man. Father-son combination, man. Why not? You know?
I think I'm gonna have to, because he knows I play now. He sees my videos. Like, he knows I travel for Yu-Gi-Oh. And you know what? The other day, he actually opened up some packages, because I got cards coming in and out of here all the time. So he was opening up one of my packages, because he texted me. He's like, oh, we got some new stuff coming in. Because I told him to keep on the lookout for these solemn judgments that are coming in. So we're like, okay, open it up. So he's texting me, and he opens it up. It was a first ed LOB. And he's like, oh, it's nothing special. It's just a pot of greed. So he knows the cards, man.
Get him in. Hey, that's the next dope story. I want to get AJT Senior in the building as the next champion. Make it happen. I think you definitely can do it. But you mentioned, you know, your addiction to the game. I think a lot of people have that. Everyone knows that you're a phenom. You got over, you know, thousands of ranked matches played. I'll put that here. All the ranked matches AJT has. He is now your GOAT format #1 ranked player as of the recording of this video. AJT is the #1 ranked player, and on my short list, I know I don't make the official list, but AJT is also on my short list on player of 2022. You know, with the amount of wins accumulated already, you are the Patreon playoff champion. You've topped several events in paper and also in digital. You are a menace, and I think your time is coming. The question is, what is your drive? What makes you play so much? How have you become so successful in such a short amount of time?
Well, I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! When I went into high school, or actually like when I was like 11. So I was done after that. And COVID started. Maybe it was a little bit before COVID. I picked up GOATs in 2018. I remember seeing suggested on YouTube Yu-Gi-Oh! So I start watching Yu-Gi-Oh! No, and I start seeing cards I recognize, and I find a way to play. I just got so addicted. It was 2018, and I just couldn't stop playing this game. So I remember I was in school playing. I was dueling in class. I was so bad. I was just getting smoked. But then like I just kept playing and playing and playing, and I started to become good. So like 2019, 2020, I started picking it up, making videos. And I don't know, just something about it fascinates me because that addiction never goes away. It's similar to a game like RuneScape, which I used to play a lot. They say like you never really quit. So I guess that could be said with Yu-Gi-Oh too. Like, I don't know, I quit when I was a kid and I just came back to it as an adult now. But I love it, man. I'm so motivated for it. I look at schedules of like Grand Prix, and I'm looking at my calendar. I'm looking at the bank account. I'm trying to see if things work to fly down there to play. I know there's
I'm in the same boat. I wish I could. I'm in the same boat. I love the game, and I think that's what makes you a great ambassador to this game. And because everyone knows you, everyone recognizes you, and everyone has a deep respect for you and what you're doing all around. But let's go and shift. We can go and shift gears. Let's talk about this event in particular. Let's talk about this event. If you don't know what FLC is, FLC is a major GOAT format event that takes place in the Format Library Discord. If you're not a member of that, make sure you go ahead and jump in there. They happen periodically. And AJT was the winner of that event. He did it in pretty spectacular fashion. I'm pretty sure you were undefeated, correct?
Yeah, undefeated.
And so with that, I'm going to pull up the deck. So here is the deck that Mr. AJT BLS took to this event, I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I let you get into the deck profile, I got to be completely honest. I am extremely disappointed with the contents of this deck. I'm extremely disappointed with the choice you decided to make for this event. I understand why you had to do it, but seeing AJT on something other than the Warrior deck is just disgusting to me, and I just got to make sure that I'm the one who tell you that to your face first. But with that, I will go ahead and throw it to you. This is a Chaos Turbo deck piloted to success, to victory by AJT BLS. Please tell me about this deck and tell me why you picked it, and I'll take from there.
All right, so we'll first start with the deck choice. When I first started getting good at this game, it was before Reclaire won Worlds. And I remember I was using Turbo or some sort of version of Turbo, and it actually was very similar to the list that I ran today with Knight Assailants, but there was no Upstart Goblin, there was no main deck Solemn. It had some changes, but it was a Knight Assailant build. So I definitely have experience playing this list, but I did not play it for a long time because I shifted to Warrior, and that was my deck. I was a Warrior guy. All my money matches, I usually primarily used Warriors. Previous tops were all Warriors. The Patreon that I won this year, all Warriors. The paper goat stuff that I won or topped in, all Warriors. I looked at this deck, and it's actually not even really mine. I decided to run it because I felt that there'd be a lot of hate for Warriors, and there's just so many things you can do with Warriors. There's not that many tricks you can do. You generate your +1s by battle, maybe a Pro Storm, and obviously the Trinity pieces will generate a plus. Not even Charity. Charity won't generate a plus on Warriors, whereas it will on decks that contain Thunder Dragon and Serp and Knight Assailants. So I was thinking that I think it's ready. We got to retire Warrior for this event. There's gonna be too much hate in it. Whereas game 1 on Warriors against Turbo, I'll probably win it. If all things being equal, I think Warriors has the edge game 1. But when it comes down to 2 and 3, man, like I felt that everyone would side too many cards, and I felt that there'd be a lot of burn at this event. And Warriors against burn is just, to beat burn on Warriors, you need to side like 8 cards. So you have 8 cards in your side against Warriors, and you're going to lose game 1 too, for sure.
Right away,
burn.
you're done.
You have probably 80% chance. Like 80, no cap, 80% chance you're losing game 1. So I was like, you know what? We're going to run James Ark's FLC deck. I actually messaged him the night before, and I said, man, I need a deck for tomorrow. And the boy James Ark sends me a list. What did he call it? He called it Bitch Ass Turbo Week 12. So this is what he used for the War League, I guess, in week 12. I don't know if he played it, but this is what he sent me, and it was literally his FLC list, but I changed the side up and made it my own because I felt like there'd be a lot of burn at this event.
Right.
And not many people know this, but Matt Uber, I'm playing about 10 hours before the event, so I want to make sure I get at least 8 hours of sleep. So I'm on the ladder getting some late night grind in, just testing out this exact deck. And little I know, I bump into Matt Uber, and I'm on my real account. I'm on AJT BLS. I'm against Matt Uber, and he's on Panda Burn. So
right, he has been on Burn lately.
So that's what he played for the event too. So he smoked me game. He smoked me first match. I begged him for a rematch. He's like, yeah, sure, bro, no problem. And he beats me again. So I'm like, man, I can't lose the Panda Burn tomorrow. So I'm like, this deck is good, but it needs some modifications. And that's where it kind of led into the side deck. Well, let's talk about the main, because I went on a little ramble there. Matt Uber was the reason why this side deck has three certain items in there.
All right, so go ahead. Just tell me about it, and tell me some of the choices. I know you say you didn't change a lot from the main, and I'll go ahead and post James Ark's FLC. I didn't get a chance to interview him on that deck. But if you want to tell me about it, just some of the card choices that you liked, that you really enjoyed, some of the combinations you had in the main deck that really performed well and kind of carried you to some victories, and if you could do it again and take some cards out, just kind of talk about that. I think that would be good. And then you can just pound the side or any other thing you want to talk about the list.
Okay, that sounds good to me. So yeah, this was inspired by James's FLC list. It was the previous FLC or two previous FLCs ago, and he actually beat me in the grand final. So I got second on that one, and I was on Warriors. So I was using the list that beat me. Can't beat them, join them kind of thing. Right. Main deck is completely unchanged, I believe, or it's very close. So we got our 3 Chaos Monsters. I like 2 Sork only. 3 is too clunky, 1 is too little. I got the Breaker, standard. I like the 2 Dekoichi and 3 Spy ratio. I think Gravekeeper Spy was the MVP of the main deck. Then it was Night Assailant. Besides, obviously, the BLS and the Trinity. Like, these were like the pieces that are unlimited. Like, you could play 3 of them, or besides the Night Assailant, of course. These were like the best performing cards, being the Spy and the Night Assailant for me in the tournament in the main deck. Right. So I love those ratios. 2 Magician of Faith, which is, some people argue you should be running 3 these days, but I just didn't see the room for it. It's kind of low on light counts, being 6 lights, including the BLS. A Sangan, obvious. Serp, obvious. 3 Thunder Dragon, self-explanatory. Tribe, self-explanatory, mandatory, and turbo. And then I main decked the Tsukiyomi, which is really helpful because I had a close match with Insidious, and if I didn't have Tsukiyomi, I don't know if I would have won it. The spells, we got 13 of them. 2 books, which is something that a lot of the turbo players like to cut down to 1 or 0. But I thought book was really, really good for me because I got those spies. I can recycle them, and it's just a good card. Like, if you use book in response to something, it's not a neg one. You try to ring something, I book it. So now my thing is, if it's a flip monster, it's now face down. I'm gonna get the effect again, and also your ring fizzle. So it's a 1-for-1, and I'm gonna get the effect. If you use book right, it's a really good card. Card Destruction, just an absolute sacky card. It's one of the first cards released. It's just so sacky. It's it really rewards. It kind of rewards bad play sometimes. You got to set up. You kind of make your whole deck revolve around is the thing. So it really in the event, I don't think I had a spicy Card Destruction where I generated a Mega Plus. But it was used actually against Matt Uber to deck him out.
Oh, okay.
Which was interesting. Then we had the Trinity pieces. The spells are just all self-explanatory. The Upstart Goblins, I sided those out against Burn because I don't like giving them extra turns or extra life. I also sided it out against Warriors. Don't really like giving them life. The Trap lineup. So this is where it's a little interesting here. Yeah. The 2 Regeki breaks. I'm a Regeki break guy. Quote James, I like kill. I run that over wing. I like 2 of those. The ring is self-explanatory. And then everything else is kind of where people are asking questions. So the Mirror Force, a lot of people cut this card. I think it's a good card. I don't know. I just run it. Like, how many other things can kill a whole bunch of things attacking and attack?
Makes
Saves
sense
your ass.
Yeah.
I like Mirror Force. I don't know. I kept it. Solemn, I like it only at 1 in this version. I think that more than 1 becomes expensive, becomes hard to make decisions with. I'm not saying I'm not able to make the decisions because in Warriors I run 3 of them, It's just I feel like in this, one is enough. Use it sparingly, use it solemnly. So one trap dust shoot in the main. I do side another one, but one main is fine. This card is the absolute worst when you're going back and forth top decking. It's just dead. It's just meaningless. It's garbage. It becomes like a duo if they have no cards in their hands. It's just horrible. It doesn't do anything. And then Torrential Tribute. This card here, you know what? I'm gonna say it. It won me the FLC.
Really? Wow. And people are cutting that too. There is some debate about Torrential Tribute and the value that it has in the deck, especially Chaos Turbo. You get set up with a lot of your Chaos stuff, and you get your spies kind of in rotation, and then you draw the Torrential Tribute, and it's like dead, or it's really helping your opponent a lot. So a lot of guys have been kind of moving away from Torrential Tribute. But it's interesting to see hear you say that.
This card won me the FLC. There was one occasion. It was actually technically round 2, because I had to buy round 1 because of my seeding. So we're in round 2. I'm against I Love CC.
And then yep.
I Love CC, and he's on Turbo. We got a Turbo mirror. Game 1 blowout. He's going first. Smoked me. No regrets. No problem. So now we're going into game 2. And remember, this is like the tournament started at noon? So it's like 12:30 EST. I lose this. I'm not grinding the losers. I'm good. I already got my world invite. I'm fine. I'm out here. If I lose this, I'm dropping. It's done. So I need to win game 2, and I need to win game 3. So game 2, he's got me down to I think, was it 500 life to his 2,400. And he has a Sork staring down my face. I got a ring set. So he attacked me. The attack went through. That brings me down to 500. And he ends his turn. So I need to draw something to clear this Sork. I got no outs. He's got also a set spell trap. I draw Torrential Tribute. So I got ring, and in my hand is TT. I lose, right? I'm like, I'm about to scoop right here. I'm thinking like, no, I'm just gonna scoop. Like, why even waste time? But I'm like, you know what? I was told never scoop. Just run it. See what happens. Make him kill you. So I set the TT as I have no choice. He end phase Jar of Greeds, but long story short, he draws his card and he draws in his turn. So now we got 2 cards in hand, nothing on the board, and a Sork staring down my face where I have 500 life. Bro, he summons Tribe. I'm like, okay, TT. Like, that's it. And Mirror Force was in the grave to his defense. So I was like thinking of myself, maybe he thought I drew Book. So he just wanted to make sure I killed him because he tested the 1 card, right? So he knew the 1 card was like nothing, dead. So he's like, okay, like maybe he thinks I don't run TT because all these Chaos players.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. There's no way he knew you had it.
And CC's not stupid.
No, not at all. Shout out to CC. I think he's a dope player as well. And he probably read the field and thought TT was a card that isn't played.
Yeah. And he's like, you know what? I already won game 1. This guy's against the ropes. He probably doesn't run TT. I can just summon it. And it's not for sure he loses anyways if I have TT. He's like probably doing the math because he paused for a second and then he summoned it. And I was like, okay, I got him, TT. And then I clawed my way out of it. I top deck BLS.
Of course, as you often do. As you often do, if you're watching this, that will happen to you if you're playing this man. He keeps a extra BLS. I think he played like 3 in his deck. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I run 3 of those.
No.
And then I just summoned the BLS and I attacked him for game. And then that was it. I beat him game 2. And then game 3 was not a good game. I blew him out. I opened all the pieces. But like if I didn't have TT, I'm not an FLC champion, period. So TT has a special place in my heart from now on. I owe TT. I owe Labyrinth of Nightmare. I owe that print.
Run TT, ladies and gentlemen. Don't cut it. Don't listen to the haters. Go ahead and run it.
No, all right. You run that card.
All right, so we got TT. Now tell me about this side, because you already know what I'm looking at. When I look at this side deck, you already know exactly where my eyes are turning. I'm looking to 3 little furry creatures that are just sitting there in your side deck. Please describe me the details of this side deck and what thought went into that. And I saw a lot of your games. I watched it all happen, and I saw the effect that this thing had in a couple of your wins that you just happen to have. So just tell me about it, and we'll take it from there.
That's Wombat. I side 2 to 3 of these in my Warriors, and I'm a Warrior guy.
Yep.
So I know how valuable this card is. I'm playing Mad Uber the night before. He smokes me. I only had 1 Wombat in the side, and I had a walk. It wasn't enough. I was like, you know what? I'm taking out the Karibos. If you're running Reasoning Gate and you sack the shit out of me, that's fine. I don't care. Cut the 2 Karibo, throw in 3 Wombat. I didn't really use this card, obviously, until I was against Panda Burn, which is actually only Mad Uber. I had to play him twice total. This card is crazy. Panda Burn, if you take a look at it, all the Grand Prix. Recently, I was at Grand Prix Avon, Grand Prix Cleveland, just outside Cleveland. That was on the weekend, the day after the FLC. I scrubbed out. I went 3-3, missed Top Cut. I think I finished in 9th or 10th, but whatever. I was running Warriors, and the top 4 were 2 Panda Burn players. Shout out to Marcus Hayden. He won it. And his wife, very nice lady, actually the TO of the Grand Prix Ohio a couple months before in Cincy. They both played the exact same deck. Maybe they changed.
That is so cool.
And they both topped with Panda Burn.
That is so cool.
It's so cool, right? And you can't sleep on that deck. That deck is serious. And that's part of the reason why I run Geki Break instead of Wing, because I can destroy my own stuff with it. You Ujama lock me and I run Wing, I'm done.
Yeah.
I need to draw a ring. It's the only way I'm going to clear it. Whereas I got Regeki Break to clear it out. So back on the Wombats, this card's insane, man. It shuts down that deck. As long as you can protect this bad boy from it being killed from battle, which is why I got the Sakus. 1600 is hard for them to get over, but if they got some tokens and I got a Panda, it needs to be protected. It also lets me ring something. So you got that Panda coming down at 3,300. I can ring it with my Wombat up because I'm taking no damage and he's taking 3,300. So that's game changing. That's a lot of life. I love the card. Attacks under Gravity Bind. It's just a good card, man. I don't know. I mean, it sucks. It's an Earth attribute, but you know, if it was dark, it's possibly main deckable. That's the thing. If it was dark.
Yeah. And that 1600 is no scoff either, man. That's a lot of damage. You know, that's coming in 1600 poking over. You know, you can kill pretty much everything in the deck. Well, you know, they're running kinetics. Get that thing in defense. You might have some problems there, but if they lure them to attack, you can beat that up. You can beat up giant rats if you need to. You can. You know, you might be onto something, man. You might be onto something.
I think it's a good card, bro. I mean, 1600 is a big beater against that deck specifically. It ties the Panda in defense. So it has an issue clearing a set Panda, but we got other cards in this deck that can take care of a set Panda. We got Night Assailants to flip it up. We got obviously our Chaos Monsters. We got a removal. Yeah, so 3 Wombats. I mean, I literally call this deck now Wombat Turbo. I take Panda Burn very seriously, and I refuse to lose to it game 2 and game 3. You could beat me game 1 with it because, I mean, I think they have a pretty big advantage, not so much against... I mean, definitely they're over 50-50, whereas in Warriors, I think they got 80-20.
Yeah.
I think they're probably 70-30 against Turbo game 1. But game 2 and 3, I like to switch those odds to me being 70-30 with these. So then we got a Kaiku. He wasn't really... I put him in against anything Chaos. Also threw him in against Warrior, because I saw a lot of cards against Warrior too. I really only geared towards playing against the Mirror Match, maybe Control, and Panda Burn and Warrior. That's it. Anything else, you got me. You got Reasoning Gate, I got nothing for you. Zumbraya, I like it. Dark against Warrior, 2100. Can't attack direct, but I'm used to using this card in Warriors. It's good. It's nothing too crazy. It's just a good card. 2 Mind Controls. They're good against the Mirror Match only, maybe against Chaos Control. Not bad. It was good. I think these are like mandatory inside decks these days. So it's self-explanatory. 1 Mystic Walk. Shout out to Ivan Rosito. Shout out to IMZ1. I don't know which one claimed that card, but I know at the time it was LRG property. So shout out to World Gone Mad. All right. Yeah. That was LRG. This card is LRG's property. I like it at 1. It is it's literally a -2 to gain life, but it's good at 1, man. Yeah. It's good at 1.
It'll save you. That'll save you too when they do their big burn. You know, they do their big burns. If you just survive that, then you basically win. You know, if you can walk at the right time, you pretty much just walk your way to victory.
I actually walked my BLS 2 times. One of the times it was to answer a snatch, and I was like, okay, like now we'll just make it a -1 instead of a -2. Make the snatch fizzle, and we'll gain 3,000 life. That was worth it to me. And I used it against BLS in my end phase from hand. Can't remember what he was doing. I think it was Adjust Desserts. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
If he's doing this now, I think he's got Storm. I think he's got some things. Let's just get the BLS gone. I'm good with it. It gave me 3,000. It did a job. It Prio banished. I'm good. Yeah. So Swords comes in against Panda Burn. Comes in against Warriors. Good card, man. Good card. John Wick was using this back a long time ago when he used to money match John Wick. And I was on Warriors and he was on Turbo. he'd side swords, and I was like, what the hell? Who's running this neg one card? Like it's shit. I was thinking, but no, it's good. It's good. It's a good card. One Dust Tornado, good against Warrior, good against Panda Burn, good at one. Another Geki Break. I like this card. Put it against the Mirror, threw it in against Panda. So brings us up to 3. 3 Saku, very self-explanatory. Good against Panda, good against Warrior. Only brought it again against those. I guess it'd also be good against any other aggro beat stick deck.
Yeah.
And then another Trap Dust Shoot for when I'm going first, only in the Turbo Mirror or the Chaos Control Mirror. If you're running Thunder Dragon, I'm running 2 shoots, and that's the deck, man. Extra deck is unlimited. Yeah. So yeah.
Man, I love the deck. I like I mentioned before, I love the deck. I hate the fact that you're playing it. You know, I like to see the, you know, the people doing what they're known for, but I'm also glad to see you're able to step outside of your comfort zone and do something different. You mentioned about CC, Matt Uber. Is there any other highlights of that event that you want to talk about that kind of jump off the table? What about your? Cause you had to play Matt Uber in the finals, right? And you had already beaten him.
I did.
I'm sure that kind of did that give you a peace of mind going against him in the finals versus since you had already beaten him the one time. Did that give you like a peace of mind knowing like, hey, I already beat him once. I could probably take him again. So
I'm watching. So I beat Ace. I sent him to the losers. That brings me to the grands, I believe. And then I beat Matt Uber before that. So I'm watching the losers. Obviously, I'm waiting for an opponent. Losers finals, and it is Ace, who's on a Chaos Turbo deck similar to mine. I'm sure there's, you know, it's probably a different variation, but it's the same. It's the same thing. Okay, and I'm watching Matt Uber play, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, I want to win this event. I need this win. I don't have an FLC major. I don't have a GFC major. This one meant a lot to me. So I'm thinking to myself, who is best to play? And they do have to beat me 2 times. I know I got that going for me. And to be honest with you, I actually wanted to play Ace. Because,
really? Okay.
Yeah, because I know I'm going to lose game 1 unless I open busted against Matt Uber. Again, I'm just like a math guy. So if I know I'm going to lose game 1, I'm going to have to win game 2 and 3. Even though they have to beat me 2 matches in a row, and I only got to beat them once, I feel like if I'm in a Chaos Turbo Mirror, I mean, I'm competent. I know what I'm doing with the deck. Even if it's a 50-50, I got a 50-50 chance total for the match. He's got to do that twice, right?
Right.
Whereas Matt Hooper's going to beat me 70% of the time game 1. So even though I have advantage game 2 and 3, I think the math works out better if I play Ace. But I play against Matt Uber, and it was history. Open busted game 3. Game 2 was decent, but game 3 was a wrap. And we got to take it down. But yeah, those 2, I was thinking I want to play against Ace actually.
Okay. But I mean, it worked out. How does it feel? Yeah. Like you said, you really want this title, man. You haven't had a crown just yet, and now you finally got that off your back. You know, you qualified for Worlds last year. You didn't get the title. Yeah. Now you finally are a champion level player. You can finally hold your title. How does that feel? All the work has kind of paid off, and all the effort you've been putting into this game, all the grind finally counts towards something. Just tell me real quick how that feels, and what do you plan on doing going forward for the rest of the season and also into next season?
Man, I needed this so bad. I was actually like talking with Scully. I really want to play in Clash of Champions, okay? Because I won that Patreon playoff thing, and I know Patreon qualifier championship winners, they don't qualify for Clash usually, okay?
Right.
So I'm trying to negotiate my way, be like, hey man, like, you know, this was a playoff of Patreon. Like, get me in, you know, this is enough. But no, I needed this one. I needed the championship, so now I got it, and gave me my 3rd invite this year, so I got the bye also for Worlds round 1. But I needed this so I can guarantee my spot in Clash. So this one meant a lot to me, and I don't know, like Format Library has a place in my heart. I love Format Library. That's my spot. No disrespect to GF.com, but like I don't know, I'm just a Format Library guy. So I needed it, man. Just to say I'm a champ of that means so much to me. It was,
dude,
I was awesome. So happy.
That is awesome. I was
so happy.
I'm so glad for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I'm elated. I'm glad you are a champion. I really, I do respect your game. I respect everything you've done. And if you don't know, if you're watching this and you don't know, AJT BLS is a YouTube player. He's already promised whether he knows it or not, that he's going to start creating more videos and doing more content to get it out there. He's got some great stuff. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead. And I've already said this a couple times. Get over there and like and subscribe. I'll make sure I tag him down low.
Thank you.
Put it in the description. Get over there. Be a part of what he's doing. He's going to come back in a major way. Also, while I'm saying that too, Mr. AJT is probably one of the top vendors we got in our community. So if you're trying to get some cards, if you're trying to get some product, all right, if you're trying to get some product and you're trying to get your paper on because these Grand Prix are happening, Goats and paper is coming back, AJT can get you right. You know, he'll give you cards at a decent price and good quality.
JDZ. I might have to give you a little kickback now if any questions from that.
No.
You know, like you use the code JDZ.
Oh, nah, no kickback. Just make sure he'll get you right. He'll set you up. I bought a lot of merchandise from AJT BLS, and it's all come in great quality and clean, nice package. What you need, he'll get you right. So
final shout outs.
Of course.
Yes, please. I want to thank my teammates on Rod. Those guys kept me straight. We played a lot of goat internals, a lot of practicing, learned a lot from them. And I want to give another shout out to my in real life friend Chris Pateo.
Okay.
Practicing on his kitchen table before these Grand Prix, running Warrior, running Turbo, and just picking his mind because that's an all-time legend there. So anything he can offer me for this game, that's a guy I want to give a shout out to. And I want to again thank James Ark for the deck. I mean, it's his product. All I did was change the side about 4 or 5 cards. So
huge shout out James Ark. He's a dope player. He's probably one of the best players in our game. You know?
Yes, he is.
So I look forward to keep the momentum going. Don't fall off. Don't stagnate because I want to see you probably as the top player of the year or somewhere in the top 10 for sure. I see that as a realistic possibility. You know,
that means a lot to me. If I can finish anywhere in that top 10, I'd be very, very happy.
Absolutely. But Mr. AJT, thank you so much for swinging by the program, coming by JDZ's Place Goes, and sharing with me this deck and your tournament experience. I'm so happy that you won, and I want nothing but the best going for you going forward in the rest of the season. Maybe you can get another GFC crown. Maybe you can do a double crown in one season.
Oh, if we get the double crown, oof.
Maybe you
go
can pull
for
it.
It. Yeah, get a double crown. Oh, that'd be awesome. Awesome.
So you're on your way. You're on your way. So we'll see. With that, man, that's all I got, Mr. AJT. Thank you so much, man, for swinging by, dude. I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You are the man.
Thank you very much, JDZ. Talk to you later. I really appreciate that.
All right,
Thank you.
Oh, that was Mr. AJT BLS coming by the studio. Tell us about his FLC winning deck and his tournament experience. Tell me what you think about the deck. Tell me what you think about him as a player. Tell me what you think about the side deck, the Dez Wombats, Torrential Tribute, all the things he talked about. Just go ahead and jump in the comments down below and tell me what you think about it. You know, I'm JDZ. I play Goats. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, shout out to the OGs. Salute to the real ones. Peace.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.